Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab. I'm in the book, Egyptian Yoga, Philosophy of Enlightenment. We rolling. This got the good lesson. Two things we got to get down today: contentment and wisdom. Let's talk about those two qualities that you have to master on the road to what? Self-mastery. So let's rock. Writism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practiced daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and two. Maya, be true. I'm in the book teaching and we rolling. We're going to talk about the qualities of contentment and wisdom are the things you need to master, and you can do that with daily practice. That's how I did it. Let's go. Contentment is a difficult feeling to develop. Why? Because we mostly spend our time thinking wrong about what we need to accomplish in the future or what we did or didn't do in the past. Remember Yoda telling Luke in Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, you always worrying about what you didn't do in the past, always got your mind on what you got to do in the future, never on now. That's a life lesson he taught him. Okay, same lesson right here. You did not do in the past. Other times, you worry about what might happen in the future, or you have regrets about what happened in the past. Can't change neither one of them. So we worry about what someone else is doing or not doing. Again, somebody else's business, somebody else's grass is greener than yours concept. Why can't they just listen to me? And most ignorant, egotistical people believe they know everything. I know the best way and don't know jack. Or what disastrous mistakes were made by you upon closer investigation of oneself. All attainments of world nature occur in the realm of relative reality, which is this physical realm, which means nothing. So therefore, all worldly accomplishments, all of them, regardless of their far-reaching or minute consequences, are bound to a sure end and will eventually be forgotten in the pages of history as they turn. Whatever was. It ain't always going to be. Why? Things move on, people forget. Even those who appear to have had the greatest impact. For my lifestyle, Muhammad Ali. Now, 100 years from now, nobody, who the hell was that? Again, Oprah Winfrey, who was she? See, so all that, that's what they're telling you. All right, fame and fortune dies out. That's the bottom line in this world. And on this world, you have everything you have will faded out to the mist of history. Again, you just suspect. So therefore, it must be clear that all your worldly attainments are only pursuits of a mental illusion. It's not real. Your ego is searching for something that it can't possibly obtain. But if they are pursued from your egoistical psychological outlook, more important than what we do is how we do it. Are we working to achieve what we call purity of heart? That's the virtue and the mental peace which comes from washing one's heart, offering up selfless service, showing the devotion and worship to God by living right and doing the things that's pleasing in his eyes and earn blessings daily. That little thing called the ego places importance on what it accomplished. I got this, I got degrees, I'm so-and-so. I've done this, I did that in the past, or what needs to be accomplished in the future. Not realizing the total illusionariness of its desires in this physical world. Nothing here can make you happy. Nothing here is going to satisfy the ego. Until you figure that part out for yourself, you're going to still have them problems. And you, the person whose spirit identifies with the ego, bad decision. Driven mind will will believe that achievements in this world, physical things, money, fame, fortune, big house, big bank account, all this stuff, in this time and space is relative reality are really real. So they live for that. They live for material stuff. The devil is material. God is spiritual. The devil is out. God is in. Thus, placing your mental thinking, which is wrong, and your time either into you're thinking about the future or you're worried about the past. And that neither one in the present time will do you any good. Understand that. So consequently, a form of what they call automatic consciousness kicks in. You develop this concept in which the present moment is always lost. Why? Because you're either worrying about the past or concerned about the future, not the now. I live in the present. That's where everything takes place at, right now, right here, right now. And what's the concept? This is true. A poor person worry about getting money. So his mind is uneasy and obtaining possessions. A rich person, they worry about losing their money. And neither one of them on either side of the spectrum of extremes, poor, rich, they both on a different screens. So neither one of them gonna find happiness within themselves. Watch this, the mental peace, but it's also one's attitude. Whoa. God, what they did. Okay, I'm over here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, see. When you form what they call automatic consciousness, you develop ideas from the past or the future, not in the now. The present moment is where spiritual development best occurs. When it is also where life may be lived most fully. When? For those who do not live in the present, what happened? They're going to wake up and realize, last night I gave you today, nobody really gives a damn about you. Oh, that was the day's lesson. No. But they will wake up one day after maybe 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 years on a job. And when they're ready to retire, they're wondering, where the hell did my life go? Because they're too busy worrying about the past, too busy planning for the future, and never lived in the now. So they missed all of that. That's the moment. Now is the moment. The moment is considered now, not some other time, not. Sorry about that. But when you work a job and you put all those years into something, and in the end, wondering, where'd your life go? Oh, you messed up. You missed the moment. I don't know who that is. Doing that. Excuse me. So again, that's the part about life. And some people go through life just that way. And what happens? Shortly thereafter, you die. Okay? Having spent their last few years regretting what they did not do or should have done with their lives. You can't live in regret. You can't live in yesterday. You can't live in your damn memory. Let that go. That's why I meditate. Why? I washed all that nonsense out. I don't carry none of that around with me at all. Well, you see your dad? Yeah, but I don't carry no memories of that nonsense. Come on, man. I use that for life lessons to teach by. And again, where you at? Most of like, okay, present moment. The present moment, and then, okay, show that they died. And a poor person worries about getting possessions, okay. And why? They worry about losing them. And neither one have what we call mental peace. Why? They both got issues that they got to deal with. So therefore, it's not one's circumstances that determines whether or not one has mental peace. I told you, mastery, self-mastery is being comfortable in all uncomfortable situations that you're going to encounter. As long as you maintain you're good to go. That's why. And I just gave that lesson. But what? It's one's attitude. Ding, 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 ding. And how dealing with what? Circumstances. That is the crucial factor in achieving what we call mental peace and contentment within oneself. Knowing how to control yourself. I got a lesson coming up. Next one coming up called what? Controlling your emotions. So, but these are all life lessons and things and aspects of your character that you can work on. And once you improve and better, you'll be a better person for that. Moving on. These is flaws and weaknesses that you can identify with within yourself. I ain't here to constructively criticize you. I want you to do that for yourself. Why? You're your best judge anyway. So you know what's best for you. Well, for me, that's my concept. All right, but where we at? Dealing with circumstances, Christian, okay, the mental, okay. Contentment is only possible. Pay attention. Is when the mind is free from what? The delusions and the illusions about their past and their future. They're getting out of that mindset of, well, I've been today. In the future, I'm going to be. No, the moment when the mind finally realizes what? That the past is the past and the future really do not exist. Then it will now be possible for you to even try to explore your eternal present moment, living in the now. Practice staying in the moment. For as modern physics prove, they even concur with our ancient philosophy. Time as well as space are what? Dependent on the consciousness of the individual perceiver of the time and space. Depending on how conscious you are of what's going on, depending on how good or how smart you're going to be, how intellectual you're going to end up being. So therefore, a minute for one person could be a year for another, dependent on their conscious perception. Like my mystic says, 10 years for one person could be like 100 to another. Why? Because life is good when you're having fun. Life is boring and drawn out when you're not. If you can't bring fun into your life, who fault is that? Take responsibility and take charge. Our ancient philosophy states that time, along with all other things in the realm of time and space, this three dimension, are what? Mere illusions that created by our own consciousness. Pay attention. They are relative realities, meaning like a dream. As young as you in that dream, it's real to you. When you wake up and you're like, oh, if it was bad, it was good. Oh man, I like it. See, again, depending on the circumstance, situation, you like it or not like it. But what is normally called time, or what we seem to be the passage of time, is nothing but an interval of eternity that we are part of. Eternity don't give a damn about night, day, what, none of that means nothing. Immortality cares nothing about that. Time is for us living this dimension. Understand? That's what they're trying to tell you. And we just a segment which the mind chooses to call an interval, and therefore construct the idea of what? The passing of time. We can do without clocks. The sun is still rise. We just won't keep time tracking, but we know when the sun come up, it's time to get up. When the sun go down, that's what it was in tank before you had lights. Okay, that's all we depend on with the sunlight. Now we got electricity, so we can do whatever we want. Again, things change. in what? This thing we call time, and realm of time and space. Wars, regardless of whether they are between the sexes, the races, or countries, an external reflection of what? The inevitable of those involved to what? Supplement their egos, to conquer their enemy, hate within themselves. Thus, instead of doing battle with their own fears and moral failings, the battle is now externalized toward other people. Others are blamed for one's problems. The wise men say, those who blame everything on others don't get it. Those who take responsibility is halfway there. Those who blame nobody is there. That's the difference. Put the blame nowhere, deal with it, and move on. One who is on the spiritual path, again, right, thinkers, you must understand that the physical world is different for each person, hence individual, and who is not, for those who are not enlightened. Why? Because they use their mind instead of their heart to perceive reality. That's the veil of ignorance. They only perceive what they can see. Some people, the five senses outside that, they can't comprehend thinking and imagining or comprehending something on another level. Moving on, those are the ones that stay and get reincarnated. So therefore, in situations which may be sometimes pleasurable for one person, may be painful for another. Again, thus, if the ego personality, it dominates and a person's perceptions of reality, that person will be living in their own world, in their mind. In addition, it must be understood that what? That our own experiences in this physical world are all based on our eternal, internal state of spiritual development. That means your state of wisdom, consciousness. How woke are you? How conscious are you of who you are? Some people say, well, I'm Elmer J. Fudd. I own a mansion in the yacht. Not enough, okay? But if you are currently unhappy with the state of the world externally, and a lot of us are, I'm one. Okay, well, I can't control none of that, but I can control me during this time, and I can exercise my right to say what I think and how I feel. But I also got the right to do what I think is best for me. Exercising my right, let you know what I think about this clown every chance I get. But because a crime, war, pollution, hatred, etc., then now we must search ourselves to be sure that we are trying to eliminate those negative things within ourselves. Stop pointing the finger at what somebody doing or ain't doing, and point the finger at yourself and see what you're doing or ain't doing. And start with you. Might get them. The man in the mirror. Only thing you can change is that man in the mirror or woman in the mirror. All everything else, I'm trying to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate. But I can't change nobody but moi. That's the name of the game. We as a people really need to elevate our purity of our thoughts, right, thinkers? A form of spiritual food. I told you, my church family, I get a dose of spiritual love. That's all love from another level, not physical. Now, as we work, give selfless service, do right by people, what are we doing? We're purifying our hearts, our minds, by functioning, doing the right thing. Our bodies will now become purified as well. As above, so below. From where we will affect all that we come in contact. You can tell a righteous person, you can tell a person vibrating on a high level. Why? People will acquiesce to them. People will just somehow know that them. That's the light, okay? And what happens? It will affect you that anybody will come in contact with you, thereby becoming a true point of light in the universe. My mother-in-law said everywhere she go, people recognize her. She's blind, but they give her credit because she ain't your ordinary blind person. She's tough. And with this transformation and understanding, this will now be reflected in your meditations, your thoughts, your desires, your feelings, and so therefore in your actions. If your thoughts are right, your actions are right, your words is right, thus having now what? Conquered your true enemy. You ready? You ready for this? Your ego personality, that selfishness, that ignorance, that cocky me attitude. Okay, you conquered him. Now he works for you. The ego don't run you. He works for you. Within our minds, that's where he is, up here. Okay? There will now be no need of what? Physical desires to conquer or hoard external objects, money, possessions, fortune, fame, or persons, since what? We know now, once you come enlightened, these to be what? Nothing but our very selves. Wake up and realize you got everything you need. That's contentment. Realizing who and what you got, you can be content knowing who you are. All that truly exists is what? Eternity. That's God, the Spirit. The best way to realize this is to personally reflect on the teachings that you learned that were just given and to promote mindfulness in what? Every area of one life. I told you I live Maya, I think Maya, I do Maya. That's keeping my balance between my both hemispheres of my brain. That's equanimity, thinking both good and bad before I make a decision. What's the good part? What's the bad part? Okay. If it's bad outweigh the good, I'm not doing it. Simple as that. And you have to learn that for yourself and incorporate that in your life and what? To live more and more, what? In the present moment. Get conscious of the present. And then to be constantly meditate on this great truth. God, your higher self. When contentment is for now and always, once you reach it, once you get it, not for tomorrow or when I accomplish this or that or when I get this or that. No, contentment also means feeling satisfied with what? Oneself and with what one is and what one has done and will do. What one has at the present moment. I ain't got a dime, but I represent wealth. If spiritual knowledge was wealth, I'm rich. With supreme thankfulness every day and internal peace, that's contentment. When you can talk to God, when you can commune with God, when you can have tears of joy and giving thanks and living in gratitude, you're doing something right in your life. Damn, who knows about it? Don't make a difference. You know, and he know. That's all that matters. It's personal, personally for me. But, where you at? But it does not mean that achievements should not be pursued or plans made to do or be accomplish the things that you think you can in your life. Living a life present simply means being happy now, working now, enjoying now, having peace now, and letting the future what? Unfold as we go. That's the conscious mind living and right in the now. The past I can't change. I use it as a teaching method. I use it as learning tools, but I can't do nothing about that. The future I can change for the betterment. It means accepting one's outcome of what? Of one's actions. If you do good work, you should get blessings in return. If you ain't doing good work, you can't expect to get a blessing. Who is it? Karma. There you go. But whatever you may be without resentment or remorse, realizing that one is always doing what? One's best. If you're bringing your best, your A game, I ain't got no other game. I don't know no other way. My pastor brother, right? I don't know nothing else. If this don't work out, I'm done. I feel the same way about my philosophy. No problem. I understand 100%. And when you're doing your best, and only one's best is what? Expected and really demanded by what? Life. Life wants your best. I don't want your half. I don't want your BC game. I want your best. Moving on. So therefore, wrapping it up, whether the project that you're working on is successful or not is up to what? The netters, not you. You just play your role. Do what you need to do and let the chips fall where they may. That's old school philosophy. That's the lesson. I'll be right back with... Nope. I'm going to keep going. I got to get this out of the way. I'm looking at the clock. I got a nice little paragraph of consciousness of wisdom. What? How to master and maintain wisdom on a day-to-day basis. They say on wisdom, wisdom is the child of training. Practice, put the work in. That's my favorite. Truth is the child of wisdom and love. Can't go wrong. Death comes when the purpose of living is fulfilled. Death shows what the reason for living was. You're born to do something before you die. If you don't get what you're born here to do before you die done, you're going to come back and do it again. That's called reincarnation. Okay, so understand that. That's the concept. And with wisdom, you become accustomed to understand. Now it says here, scorn also to depress thy scorn also to depress thy competitor by any dishonest or unworthy method, not good. You strive to raise thyself above them by excelling past them. So shall they contest for what? Superiority, to be what? Crowned with honor. If you're in competition, put your best effort, okay? The spoils go to the victor. If not, with success in life, if you don't give your best effort, you cannot be successful. They say you can achieve what you can conceive. If you can think it, you conceive it, go for it. That's the concept. My man said, think unlimited, become unlimited. And that's all mental. Accurate and reckoning mathematics. I missed the whole line. Now, if the social order, society, judges success by material, and that's what it is, material gains, that means the most successful will be the what? The most corruptible and the most selfish. That guy we got sitting in the chair right now, that fits the bill right there. He fits that bill. Simple. Moving on. I could use him as an example. That's a perfect example of what not to do. He's not wise at all. But if society order judges success or gain most successful, those who would be the most corrupt and selfish. Now, accurate reckoning mathematics. The interest into what we call knowledge of all existing things and all obscure secrets, knowledge of self. That's the mystery, knowing thyself. If you meet a despondent who is your equal or match, do not attack. They are weak. They will confound themselves. Jibber, 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 jibber. Do not answer the evil speech. Okay, talking bad, yeah. And give in to your animal passions, which is to react. Don't do that. For what? Combat, physical altercation. I'm going to show you. That guy right there, that's him. For what? Venting yourself against them. You don't respect me? Yeah, you'll be MF real quick. And behind that come the fist. You will beat them. How? Through reproof of what? The witnesses who will agree with you by what? Maintaining your cool, being solid. Let them do all the, braggadocious boasting and saying what they get out of it. Don't let that bother you. Okay? What is the pay for titles but flattery? Everybody, but I'm so-and-so. Oh, they gonna kiss your butt. He got a PhD degree. He's Professor so-and-so. He's Dr. so-and-so. What kind of person are they? How doeth man purchase power, but by what? By being a slave to him who giveth it. You can't make me. You haven't, like Dion said, you didn't make me, so you can't break me. That's the concept. Power was given to me, my gift given by God. So man can't take it away. That's the concept. You can't steal my joy. And right here it says, magic is knowledge and strength. For without strength, Nothing worthwhile can be achieved. Without knowledge, strength is uncontrolled rage. That's not good. No knowledge, all strength. All brains, all brawn, no brains. So as above, so below. As below, so above. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. The wise person doubts often and changes his or her mind for what? For the purpose of getting it right. The fool is abstinent and doubts nothing, knowing all but their own ignorance. That's, I told you, a person who knows not and believes they know is dangerous. That's them right there. That's that fool who what? Don't know everything, but don't know who the hell they are. So ignorant that he ignorant their own ignorance. I deal with them kind of people on a regular basis, so I know them well. The wise man feeds his cock with what? With what endures, truth, justice, and righteousness, so that it is happy with that person on earth, doing good things, feeling good about doing what you're doing. That's pleasing the cock, not the ego. Okay. The wise man is known by his or her wisdom. The great are known by their wisdom. The wise wake up early to their lasting gain, while the fool is hard pressed to get up and do another day of what? Foolishness. All that exists on earth is an incarnation of the real essence from the non-material realm. We fallen man is coming from spirit to matter. Matter is the physical form. We got to what? The raised man back what? From the matter to spiritual consciousness. So when the physical part dies, the consciousness and the spirit can go back home. Why? It knows who it is. That's why. And courage, will, and knowledge, and a little silence on the side are essential qualities that you have to master for those that's on the path of what? Perfection, aka knowledge of self, enlightenment. Last one, wrapping up. I see it went a little long. I appreciate you tuning in, but I got to get this lesson in. I'm closing out with this one. They who begin to benefit from words of wisdom while they were children shall prosper in their affairs as they continue with words of wisdom and acting in a righteous and virtuous manner when daily will always be successful in life. This game we playing, you need to know who you are in order to win. That's the lesson. That's the message. Hope you got it. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 miles a day. So I never let my right thinkers who know themselves a little bit better now have passed away.